आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः गुकारो अन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। It's very important to know the significance of studying a Vedanta text. I should get connected with what I am studying. Personally, if we come to know that what I am studying has a big role in my daily life to solve all my problems and all my issues without having any support externally, if I come to know, I will be more going thoroughly through the Upanishad text. So that's why introduction is not something like what other texts used to do. Vedanta or Upanishads are very much connected with an individual who is listening to the traditional teacher. So I need to go bit more elaborated for understanding the significance of the traditional teachings. So what I want to say, we need to know that Vedas are pramanam, as I told before 2 classes, that what is meant by pramanam? A means of knowledge, something which reveals unique things, something which reveals unique things. Vedas reveal unique things. As I told you, Vedas are not insisting to do any ritual or insisting you to believe it. It helps you to solve your daily issues without having any external support. So we will see what we have already gone through in few minutes. Vedas are the fundamental scriptures of Indian tradition. They are mostly 4. And every Vedas are divided into 2 portions. One portion is called ritualistic portion. Ritualistic portions are mostly the rituals to be done by a human being in order to achieve his desirable things. Not only that, few prayers which are in the ritualistic portions also help the person to neutralize his misdeeds. Few portion are prohibited actions which should not be done at any point of time while living in this world. Thus, the ritualistic portion mostly covered by 5 different types of rituals or prayers or meditations. Daily routine is one set, nitya karmaha. Naimittika karmaha, incidental duties like birthday, how to conduct a birthday, how to remember a person who is already went from this world, departed from this world. Every year, what we have to do in ritual form. Naimittika karma. So, nitya karmam, naimittika karmam, kamya karma. Each and every human being in this world are not complete from the standpoint of creation. As a human being, I am lacking something is universal when we compare to others with respect to one's own body, one's own situations, one's own clarity. Lot of things we can compare with others. In order to fulfill or in order to achieve the things which are lacking in my life, I can do certain rituals and I can accomplish in my life. For example, progeny, next generation. If I don't have a child after getting married with somebody, if I do a ritual properly, as told in the ritualistic portions of Vedas, definitely I am going to get a child. In fact, not only child, whatever your desire, if you want to fulfill according to the instructions given in the Vedas, if you do that, you will get fulfilled. Thus, this portion is called Kamya Karma. Then the fourth portion, Prayashchitta Karma, neutralizing actions in my life before coming to the knowledge of or before coming to the aware of the creation and the living beings, before coming into a mature person, I may have committed certain misdeeds which will be a disturbance or which will be a nuisance for others. I want to neutralize, I want to nullify that. For that, certain rituals are neutralizing actions. Prayashchitta karmani. Then the last portion, pradishiddha karmani, prohibited actions also there. That's why the entire ritualistic portion may be do's and don'ts and also desirable activities. So there are 2 portions in Vedas, and the first portion is called ritualistic portion. In fact, in Sanskrit, it is called Karma Kandam. And that portion is covered with 5 set of actions. Nitya Karmaha, Naimittika Karmaha, Nitya Karmani, Naimittika Karmani, Kamya Karmani, Prayashchitta Karmani, Pradishiddha Karmani. Routine, daily routine, the action to be done in daily life. First. Second, incident, actions which are incidental. By an incident, it came in my life. Then, kamya karma, an action to fulfill your desires. Then, neutralizing actions and also prohibited actions. It's very important. Prohibited actions are also to be understood properly in oneself. Why what will be the loss in my life if I do this action? If a person comes to know, he will keep away from that action. It's very important. For example, before starting the class, I gave you an example. Suppose if you loot money from others, if you take advantage from others, when a person is not informed and you have certain understanding about education and some information, and there is a person who is ignorant about the world and the dealings, you can take an advantage from that person. If a person comes to ask, then if we take an advantage, we may be happy for a time period, but there is a big thing to repay. What is that? We believe in next birth. According to the tradition, it's a fact. You need to repay whatever you have taken from the next birth. That is why the births are many. Mosquitoes are politicians in the previous birth. They have taken lot of money, lot of things which belongs to society. And when they give up their human body, their vasanas, their impression will enter into a form of mosquito. Again, the same duty continues to take some blood from others. Without earning, you just go and take some blood from. Fine, I just gave an example. I'm not going to enter more in the example. So prohibited actions. If I come to know what is the loss in this action, even though if I get an immediate happiness or benefit, I may have a severe loss in my life. That's something important. Any unconducive situation, unfavorable situation is a reward of my misactions. Whatever actions I perform in my life, it will pay conducive situations and also unfavorable situations. So prohibited actions will become the unfavorable situation. Something very important. Without knowing this, people are busy. People are indulged in doing what is not to be done. This is how lot of animals and birds are extinct in this creation because it is being killed for meat or to take advantage of their features like fur, feather, or their teeth or their beak, whatever it may be. We have taken advantages from the poor living beings. That's why they got extinct in this. One of the example which you can keep inside your mind. So prayashchitta karmani, pratishiddha karmani. Prohibited actions are also a set of actions which will come under the ritualistic. Thus, 5 sets of actions will constitute the ritualistic portion. Ritualistic portion, even though it's a form of actions, rituals, meditations, prayers, if a person use all these prayers and meditation without having an individual accomplishment. But I do a prayer which is told in the Karma Kanda, in the portion of ritualistic portion in the Vedas. If a person daily do a meditation without keeping a selfish motive in one's mind, they just do the prayer because I have time, my body is there, and I should have some gratitude towards the Creator. So I do this ritual daily, but I don't need the benefit, or I don't have a special interest in benefits what they bring in my. That will make the person more mature, and this person will be qualified to listen the second portion of Vedas, what we call Vedanta. So the ritualistic portion can be used as a tool or an instrument to get enough maturity in one's life to listen to the ultimate goal of a human being in the second portion of Vedas, what we call Jnana Kantam, or the knowledge portion of knowledge. Thus, this portion is something very important because it talks about an existing thing. It's not an invention of a new thing. It's only a discovery of one's own reality. So the ritualistic portion, when they talk about something new like heaven, child, prosperities, healthy life, which is not there, but it will be in future you will gain. When they talk about sadhya goals, a goal which is to be gained in the future, here in the portion of knowledge, we are getting some teachings about a thing already existing here. So, Siddha Vastu Vishayam, a teaching which is connected with an already existing thing. That is the first difference between the portion of knowledge and the portion of rituals. There, it talk about a thing which is to be achieved in future. Here, the knowledge about a thing which is already existing right now in this world everywhere. So it's a big difference, When something is already existing, it should be existing in myself also, because apart from me, everywhere it is existing, then it is not all-pervading entity. When we say it's an all-pervading entity, in my every cell, that entity should be there. Thus, an inquiry will start. A seeker is a person who wants to get the knowledge about himself and also about the world. A serious seeker will be always trying to get some answers about the creation, about the creator, about myself, why I have these type of experiences, what is my goal, how I am going to reach my goal, what is the role of Vedas and Vedantas in my life. All these things are there in seeker's mind. Once we are enough matured, and I told you in the last class a very important point, a mind will be available to listen a knowledge when it is fulfilled partially about its limitations. Any need which is very deep will not help the mind to focus on what is the teaching. A lack, a certain things are lacking in my life. Then I will not be able to focus on what the last portion of Vedas are talking about. So my mind should be available when certain things are provided for me, and the mind should be relaxed. Then it can be easily focused towards what is talking about. Thus, for the sake of fulfillment of certain things in my life, the ritualistic portions are helpful. There is a purpose for this ritualistic portion. When a person is ready to listen, then there is a thing to be studied in the last portion, and it is studied under a traditional teacher. And it becomes the ultimate goal of a human being. As I started this introduction, there are 4 human goals, and 3 human goals come under the realm of duality in the creation, which we elaborately discussed: dharma, artha, and kama. And the last goal, which is the ultimate goal, is told in this last portion of Vedas, Jnana Kanda portion of knowledge. This goal is something very important for everybody, and everybody is seeking this goal knowingly or unknowingly. Everybody is behind happiness. Everybody wants to be secure in their life. Thus, you are connected with the ultimate goal. I don't want to be mortal. That's why I eat certain medicines which will make my body healthy, even at the age of 60, 70. Here in India, Ayurveda prefers certain medicines which will give more strength, like a bull, even at the age of 70 or 65. Why? I want to be mortal. Something very important. I want to be secure. I should not be afflicted by disease. So somehow, knowingly or unknowingly, I am behind security and happiness. The ultimate happiness and ultimate security are the 2 benefits of this ultimate goal. That is why, what are the benefits of studying the portion of knowledge? If somebody asks you, why should I listen Vedanta? How the word Vedanta comes? In Sanskrit, Vedanta means a topic which is listed in the last portion of Vedas. Vedasya andabhage sthitam Vedanta. What is being told in the last portion of Vedas? It's called Vedanta. Vedanta itself has another name, Upanishad, which we are going to see now. So these are the 2 benefits of studying Vedanta. Nirvishaya Ananta Avapti, which we have to deal now. The first benefit, already I mentioned you last class. Atyantika dukkha nivritti. Freedom from all kinds of worries, disturbances, issues, bondages, everything at once, not one after another. Atyantika. Atyantika means fundamentally, totally, not for temporary. Temporary dukkha nivritti is just like drinking some wine or alcohol. You are not aware of what is going on. Or adding some sedation in your body, you won't feel any issues which are facing right now in your life. You are just unaware of that. This is called temporary relief, like painkillers. Painkillers don't take away the pain in the body. They just deal with the nerve which give the message of the pain in your brain. It blocks the message of this nerve towards the brain by damaging certain cells, which is giving some message to the brain. Thus, painkiller give instant relief. It's a temporary benefit. It's a temporary relief. We are not talking about anything temporary. We are not going to talk anything temporary. We are talking about permanent relief from all kinds of issues, from all kinds of problems, from all kinds of bondages, from all kinds of body limitations, like my hair is not so beautiful, my face is not so beautiful, people are not accepting me, I am not tall, I am not fair with my skin. All these limitations are also worrying, make me worried. All these things are instantly vanished after receiving this knowledge. That is why Atyantika, permanently, dukkha nivrittihi. Permanently, you are free from all kinds of bondages, all kinds of issues, all kinds of disturbances. You are not at all connected with the external world at all after listening this. That itself will make the person certain enthusiasm to listen further, because this topic seems to be something extraordinary, because it's not very easy to get total freedom from all my issues immediately. Thus, first benefit I already mentioned you in the last class, Atyantika dukkha nivritti, samsara nivritti. First of all, it deals with immediate issues, and it will reward the ultimate freedom from the death and the birth cycle. Atyantika dukkha nivritti. This is the one benefit of studying Vedanta. While living, you are free from all kinds of bondages, all kinds of issues, all kinds of disturbances. You are free from all kinds of responsibilities. You are free from all kinds of guilt. You are free from all kinds of hurts. Thus, permanently, while living, I am free from all kinds of issues which were facing for several years from my past. That is why people will have an enthusiasm to study Vedanta. We are not exaggerating an idea which will not work out in one's life. This is another bluff, like some politicians, some people give you some promise. I will give you all solution. Please come. Like if you see some Indian channels now in television medias, they advertise, if you keep this ideal in your house, your problem gets solved. Within 20 days, money will come. All this, Kubera Yantram. Some bluffing, you will get all the money. Your problems get solved. These are all just bluffing. Nothing will happen. You will get lost of your money buying this ideal or whatever they magical ring. If you wear this ring after buying from us, within 20 days, extraordinary things will happen. Nothing will happen. Your money, 2,500 rupees, has gone by buying this ring. Kuber bag, a small bag. Certain things are there inside. You keep in the altar, everything get managed by this bag. Do you believe on that? But they make you believe. We are not talking like that. There is no magic. There is no exaggeration. There is no embellishing in an idea. We are talking the fact about an individual. An individual is already free from all his responsibilities. An individual is already free from all kinds of body limitations. An individual is already free from all kinds of problems which he is facing now. It can be a severe disease like cancer or etc. etc. But he is already free while this disease is making some issues in his body. In spite of all the issues which are connected with the body, he is entirely free. We have to understand properly how. There is no exaggeration. There is no embellishing a fact. We are just talking about the reality. And one needs to focus on how the things are being explained. This is the first benefit. Atyantika dukkha nivritti. Now, the second benefit of listening this Vedanta, the Upanishad, is Nirvishaya Ananta Avapti. In Sanskrit, Nirvishaya Ananta Avapti. Nirvishaya, absence of external object. Without the presence of external object, Ananta Avapti, a person will enjoy the ultimate joy or happiness in his life without the presence of any external thing. Nirvishaya. The word nir means absence of something. Vishaya, external things like children, wife, car, land, wine, gold. All these things are object of happiness. For anybody. But after studying Vedanta, this is the reward. Without any external thing, a person will be completely happy without having any secondary thing in their life. Nirvishaya Ananda Avapti. Very important. Very important. Nirvishaya Ananda Avapti. Most of the people seek happiness through an external thing, but Vedanta promises a person will be happy in full measure when he comes to know the reality, what is being taught in the Upanishads portion. without the presence of external things. This is called Nirvishaya Ananda. Because I am seeking for all these things in my life. That is why nobody will deny Vedanta once they listen. Without listening towards Vedanta, a person from a different background may deny. What is the point of studying all these traditions? You are already born in Christianity or Islam. You perform that. Nothing wrong on that. Keeping your own way of performance in your own religion, you can listen, because this teaching is not connected with any kind of religion or any kind of performance of a caste or religion. There is no need of any kind of worry on. So, these two benefits are the main thing to be understood properly as a seeker, why I should study Vedanta. Vedanta promises two benefits mostly. Nirvishaya Ananda Avapti, Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti. Total cessation of all kinds of sorrow and be free from all kinds of responsibilities and all the body limitations immediate. Then Nirvishaya Ananda Avapti. In spite of an external object, a person is completely happy throughout entire life, not only for one day. Entire life, he will be happy without having any external things appearing in his life. These are the two benefits of Vedanta if somebody asks you. It's very important. Now, Vedanta is a portion which is a small portion compared to Karma Kanda, ritualistic portion. And why it is so, I already explained you. Those who want to know again, please go back one or two classes and you can see that. Thus, Vedanta being a small portion, and it talks about the reality of a human being. But people, whether will come to study or not is another question. When it's a small portion in Vedas. I mentioned you, when a thing is kept inside a shop, there will be a person coming to collect that thing. That's why the shopkeeper used to keep that thing inside his shop. If something is unnecessary, the shopkeeper will not keep inside his shop. Somebody is the necessary of this thing. Similarly, Vedas presented both portions, and one portion is completely big, almost 83% or 80% or 85. And only 15% it talks about the knowledge of a human being or individual. Whether people will be there to study this portion, of course, there will be people. And this portion is also called, and in another name, Upanishad. This Vedanta, the portion which is appearing in the last portion of the Vedas, are also have another name called Upanishad. What is Upanishad? Two prefixes and the sad, the root sad. Upa, ni, sad. So what is meant by Upa? Briefly, I will say, one needs to go to the near to the guru, a traditional teacher, and accomplish this knowledge. If a person is ready to go and study under a guru, then only he will disclose the subject matter, reveals the subject matter. So, Upa Samipe, going near to a traditional teacher and surrender completely towards that traditional teacher, a person will receive this knowledge properly. Upa. Ni, with complete clarity, without any confusion, without having any kind of extra pressures to go behind or go return what he has done in his life. Completely, he or she is interested to study what guru, traditional teacher says. Ni, completely, without any confusion, because any other branch of science, if you look into, will have confusion. Suppose you, before 20 years, if you bought a TV, that TV is quite big and have a lot of capacitors, integrated circuit, resistors, etc., etc. Electronic components will be there a lot. After 20 years, you are buying a flat TV or an LCD TV. The components are less compared to 20 years. It's not very easy for a person who have studied repairing that TV coming to this TV. So everything has lot of issues with respect to any science. There is no such issues in studying Upanishad. Upanishad doesn't have any change in the past or in the future. It will be always Nityam. The knowledge will be always complete so that it can be easily handed over to the listener. All other knowledge are not guaranteed that you completely deliver to the listener, because there is a subject to change. Day by day, the technology get developed. According to that, your shape of the TV get developed. The components get developed so that there is no completely handing over what you have studied about television for your student. Why? Anytime the developments can change. But in the subject of Vedanta, in the matter of Vedanta, there is no change. So that it's very easy to hand over to the listener completely. And every traditional teacher will think that the person who is listening from me should become greater than me. In no other science, this type of thinking will not be there. They will always think, I should be the first, he should be always second. But in Vedanta, the traditional teacher bless their listeners, their students, that you should become more than me. And we have seen in our films. So, Upa, Samipe, going near to a traditional guru and study completely. Completely. Without any confusion, without any limitation, one need to assimilate the knowledge with a total Shraddha. Thus, a person goes to the traditional teacher. There is no other way of studying the Upanishad. You cannot go alone inside a thick forest. Suppose if you have some people who are experienced related to this forest, then it will be very easy to go around this forest, through this forest, from one place to another place through this forest. Because a proper guide is there to guide you, to give you the direction. Similarly, Upanishad is a big forest. It talks about a unique knowledge. You cannot read and you cannot understand properly. There are a lot of places where you have to know more than what is told literally. There, only teachers can reveal the secret or the fact. For example, we say lakshanartham, vyangyartham. Other than literal meaning, you need to go one step forward. When somebody is entering into your house and your entrance of the house is quite small, and people used to hit their head in that small entrance. So you give a warning for everybody, one who is entering into your house. Why? How do you give the warning? Please head, head, head. Only say like this only while they are entering to the house. That means our entrance of the house is quite small. Be aware of the hit by your head. That is why we say head, head, please check head, head, head. By saying one single word, the whole things are being grasped by the listener. Similarly, when you are entering into a car or you are traveling in the car, you say door, door, door. Door means you close the door. When it is open, you please close the door. They don't say. Just say door. Or when you are going out of the house, they say door. Means you lock the door properly. This is called tatparyam. An understanding from one single word, a big idea. One single word will give you a lot of ideas. It is their entire Vedas are filled by this type of ideas. So if you read one word, you may not catch up with the entire idea. You will not have the proper understanding about the entire idea. That is why one should study under a traditional teacher is important. Without their instruction, it will be unfulfilled. It is always incomplete. It's not very easy to go through a book and you cannot take a class or you cannot get a proper idea. So go under a traditional teacher, Upa, Samepe, and study under him. In the olden days, 12 years are the minimum duration of studying the Indian scriptures like Upanishads and some Karmakanda. At least for 12 years, one needs to commit their life. In the olden days, parents used to send their children and to stay with their guru in that village. Then this guru will make up their survival of their children and give the education for their children. Then there will be no confuse when they grow up. Similarly, one needs to have a commitment at least for 12 years to get moksha, not to study Māṇḍūkya. Moksha, if your aim is, if your priority is to be free from this material world, to be free from the death and birth cycle, one needs to have a commitment for at least 12 years, surrendering towards the traditional guru and to this text. That is why Upa, the word Upa, Samipe, going near to him and listen properly. Ni shows the whole entire confusion should go. Logically, you should understand about the innate nature of a human being. It's not an information. Information doesn't have any role in your life. Information can stay just with the head. It's an intellectual transformation. Very much connected with the individual, a knowledge. Like the doctor used to say something connected with your health. It's not an information. You have to take into medication or you have to do certain things related to your health. Thus, this is also much less similar to that only. a mistake is going to be corrected. And this mistake have deep rooted in my life. So I need to go through this information at least for 12 years. It's a general rule. Few people will grasp the knowledge within 3 years or 4 years. But in general, if you want to know the entire knowledge in systematic way, one needs to commit for 12 years, they say. And 12 years means not only one period from morning to evening, because it's talking about the moksha. It's talking about the person's freedom from this world, freedom from the desires, freedom from all kinds of limitations. I need to commit. It's a big reward. For that, my infrastructure should be ready for landing off this big subject in my mind. Thus, Upanishad have two prefixes, nearby and completely, without any kind of confusions. And the Sat Dhatu, Sat root in the Sanskrit, the word Sat have three meanings. Visharanam, Gati, Avasadanam. Visharanam, integrate completely, you destroy entire thing, Visharanam. Disintegrate, complete. What are the feelings? What are the emotions? What are the wrong ideas you kept inside your mind will get destroyed once you listen to the topic. Visharanam. Because I am a human being is a basic information carrying right from my childhood. It's not very easy to give up this basic information. Not very easy. Because the people around me also made me to keep this idea that I am a human being. All others also behaving as a human being. When Upanishad comes and tell you, you are not human being, you are beyond human being. You are an immortal entity, which is the fundamental source of creation. Then, to know that information, what is told by the Upanishad, I need to go more. That's why it's not a 1 hour talk. So all the emotions, all the mistakes, all the things connected with the human being nature will be eradicated, will be destroyed once you listen to this knowledge. That's why Jnanagni, the fire of knowledge. It will burn everything at once. Just like I was afraid of a snake which is inside the room, and I am waiting outside seeking somebody's help. And somebody came immediately, and we gone together inside the room. And when we checked, this is not a snake at all, it's only a rock. Immediately, the snake idea got destroyed by knowing the real fact about a thing. Similarly, immediately everything gets destroyed after knowing the real fact about the listener, the person who is studying the Vedanta. Thus, Visharanam, the word, it's a promise of Upanishad. The word itself shows that you are going to destroy your entire mistakes, mistaken ideas, erroneous notions, bondages, responsibilities. Everything get immediately eradicated, destroyed. Visharan. Then Gati. This knowledge will guide you to the ultimate thing in the world, the biggest thing in the world. Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati. A person who comes to know about this entity, he became the same entity. That means he or she is already that entity only. Brahmavit Apnoti Param. A person who comes to know Brahman will achieve the ultimate. It means that already he is the ultimate thing. But due to the circumstances, due to the people who are connected with me, everybody made me to think I am illegitimate. I am a small, limited living being. All these things made me to fit in this death and birth world. From that, this knowledge will take you to the ultimate thing which is immortal. By knowing that, you will also become immortal. It's a reward, it's a challenge, it's a promise, everything all together. It's a promise given by the Upanishad. We are going to guide you. The Upanishad says as a mother, I am going to guide you to the ultimate thing. When you come to know what is the ultimate entity, you will become the ultimate entity. Very important. Very important. So, Visharanam, the destruction of all my mistaken ideas, it's a promise from the Upanishad. One meaning, Sad Dhatu. Second is guiding, directing towards the ultimate goal of a human being. It's also a fact done by the Upanishad. Avasadhanam. It can be converted into avasanam, end, to put an end for the death and birth cycle. After studying Upanishad, there is no coming back again and again to be inside this world, to get more and more worries, to get more and more suffering. That will be the end of a person who is going through this circle of death and birth cycle. To put an end for all worries, to put an end for all sorrows. That somebody will think, this beautiful world is going to be an end after studying Upanishad. It's our perception that this world is beautiful because of your comfort zone, because you have some money, because you have a good house, because you have a wife, because you have certain things to live in this society, you feel that you are okay. You are happy in this samsara, this world. But in reality, anityam asugam lokam imam prapya bhajasvama. This samsara, this death and birth cycle creation, this external world is a representation of a crocodile which caught Adi Shankara's feet in his story. You know what is the strength of a crocodile? When a crocodile catches in your leg, it's almost 3,000 kg in your leg. A weight of 3,000 kg in your leg. There is no way of escape. This is how our attachment towards the children, there is no way of escape. You are always up and down. When your child is achieved something, you will be very happy. When your child is not achieving anything or he do some unwanted things, you are down. When your wife is in tune with you, you are happy. When your wife is not in tune with you, you are unhappy. So this attachment is the jaws of crocodile. Sukham and Dukkham are the different feelings when we get from these attachments and the connection contact with the external things. This is the jaws of the crocodile. Really speaking, this world is represented in the form of crocodile in the Shankara story. Similarly, one needs to take that any beautiful thing is a jaw of a crocodile. You get connected. The first thing you think is, this is beautiful, I want this. You just identify with that. Thus, you will enter into the jaws of the crocodile. So, never think that this samsara is a wonderful thing to enjoy and to live a life. This samsara is entirely filled with sorrows and worries. If you are not getting completely the meaning what I told, just visit a hospital, and in that hospital, there will be a ward only for cancer patients, and stay for 1 day and come back. Then you will rewrote your list. This world is not so happy. When we are in the comfort zone and somebody is giving some tea, somebody is giving some food, we feel everything is okay and everything is happy. In reality, this is not a proper decision, or this is not the proper life. This is not the proper decision made by you. That's why from this death and birth cycle, the knowledge of the Upanishad puts an end. No more death, no more birth. Ever pure, the origination of happiness, which is this Atman you are. Thus, you are free from all bondages. You became connected with the ultimate goal, and it will put an end for your death and birth cycle and all the worries and sorrows. That's why the Vedanta is also called Upanishad. Now, how many Upanishads are there? Which Upanishad I am studying? What are the significance of this Upanishad? Everything in the next class. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Gobrahmanebhya Shupamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shalini Deshoyam Choparahitaha Brahmana Santu Narbhayaha Sarve Bhavantu Suginaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mritam Gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om